Good morning. We are live again here in the wood burning studio, if you want to call it that. We got some music going today. I was looking for this song for a long time. This is by a friend of mine, DJ Goreface. This one's called Return of the Wobbles. It's probably not available anywhere else, but if you want the song, I'll figure out how to get it to you. It's fun. It's silly. We're bouncing around. Got our coffee. We're getting ready to go here. We're set up. We already got everything we need. No worries there. Oops. Sorry. We got one in here. Hello, hello. Oh. Where? We're going to be here for a short period of time today, probably only an hour. Aaron in the building. Hello, hello. We're early today. I wanted to get the wood burning session in before our regularly scheduled thing. So we're only going to do an hour of this. I've got an hour-long track here running. When this track is over, we're going to end the live stream no matter where we're at with this, and then me and you can get a hold of each other on Discord and figure out how to get the normally scheduled live thing going. That's the plan anyway. It's hot as balls outside today, so I'm not sure if we're going to be going outside. It's supposed to be like in the 80s. It's nice and chilly down here. Already got the wood burner going. I might have to move where my coffee is so that I'm not bumping into it with the wire there. I'm trying not to put it in the floor down. Otherwise it'll be in the way of the camera, right? I hope you had good sleep last night. You were up pretty late last night helping me out with that. Anyway, let's put it over here by the light. So I haven't figured out what I really want to add to this here. It's stormy there in the UK. Dang it, they gave me a wrench. Oh, they did. I don't think I even noticed that. Let me see. Maybe I can mess with that? No, it's still giving me an option to add you as a moderator, and none of them are lit up, so. Edited for 4 hours? Ooh. Did you get any sleep at all? You at least took a nap, right? Please tell me you at least took a nap. 4 hours of editing is a lot of screen time. Anything fun that you were editing? Or you were just looking through the content and figuring out stuff on my channel? It's too bad people hurt themselves because I could really use a stronger wood burner. You just can't find them commercially. Or not commercially. Yeah, commercially. For retail, you can't find a wood burner that'll burn your house down commercially. You got to get that through like some kind of big supply company. Got 4 hours of sleep before heading back into the edit. Well, if you enjoy it, right? What they say is, if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. And this might even be a YouTube-approved track here that we're listening to. Because technically it's all sampling. And it's done by somebody who doesn't own the copyrights. So we'll see what they say about it. We'll see how they trigger it. I just know that this particular project is going to take quite a while, and I don't want to keep using regularly scheduled time for it, because that's the doggo's normally scheduled time, so I'm going to try to do this outside of the normally scheduled time. I wanted to introduce people yesterday to the content being there. You know, if it's something they're interested in watching or being part of. But I don't think it's content that's really, it's going to drive a lot of traffic. So I'm not going to devote too much time a day putting the content to the woodburning out. Gamers! I'm early today, gamers. It is 9:46 my time, so normally I wouldn't be going live for like another hour and 15 minutes. We're going to do an hour wood burning here. It doesn't give me the live timer, but I can check the song here. This song's 1 hour long, so we're only going to do 1 hour. We've been live about 8 minutes. How you doing today, man? It's gorgeous weather out today, but it might be too hot for us to do anything outside. I am not a fan of being sweaty and getting bitten by bugs. So, maybe that's just a little bitch in me, but I might not be outside today. We could go outside, but I probably won't stay out there very long. Can you guys hear this silly track here? I think this one's called Fidget Step. The track is called Return of the Wobbles. By a buddy of mine that I met in Brooklyn, who lives in Queens. I don't know where he lives now because it's been so long since I talked to him, but he goes by DJ Goreface. He's probably still got an internet presence. Yeah, I used to hang out with, well, we called him Oscar, because that's his real name. But he goes by DJ Goreface. And this is one of the tracks he made. A lot of sampling, so we'll see if YouTube allows him to keep it there. We're just getting a better definition on this sign here. It looks good? Well, thank you. It's a work in progress. We're going to keep letting you guys see the progression of this. I'm not going to do any work on it unless I'm in front of the camera with you guys. But like I said earlier, I'm going to try to do it outside of the normal time so that the people coming in wanting to see the dogs during normal hours, they get to see that. But I did want to introduce it yesterday. For those of you who want to see, you got to keep your notifications on if you want to see it progress. Because that was just a sneak peek during normal hours. I think we might have the studio production manager with us today during normal hours. All depends on whether or not the nap is necessary. Somebody didn't get any sleep last night. Somebody's on that hustle and grind. Getting the letters nice and defined right now. Like I said, I'm going to be putting other stuff around here. Like, I don't know, dog bones, some kiss marks, maybe some doggo silhouettes or a footprint or two. Something that's going to go around it here. You know, I might even trace on my phone and stencil out like the YouTube subscribe button or like a big thumb. We're going to make it look kind of cool. You know, overlook the fact that it was free-handed.
So basically, what I was thinking
of. Light pressure here and, you know, going over it real slow. The slower you go, the more it burns. So I kind of just do this back and forth motion. It's like this little bit of like, you know, kind of darkening it in. But if I don't do the back and forth motion and I move too slowly across the wood, it'll burn a crevice, like a dip into it, and then that becomes a bump that's hard to get around. This corner's already become a bump here. So then it screws with the Maybe we'll do like the footprint in this area or something. You know, get her to paint on it or something. Like get some paint or some ink on her foot, step on it, and then fix the wood burning around it. See? I gotta get the non-toxic paint. We've got some neon paint that I've been throwing the idea around in my head. I'm getting her to step in. I don't know how it's going to be when summer hits here, because the kiddo's going to be home on a regular basis. I might not be able to do these out of the ordinary streams. Either that or they're going to be even more out of the ordinary than usual. I'll still try to keep to the regularly scheduled 11 to 1. Let's see. Play everything by ear. If it works out, it works out. If I need to figure out childcare for 2 hours out of the day so I can do the YouTube thing, most of the family understands what the ambition is, what the goal is, what the drive is behind it, so I'm sure they would understand that me not wanting to have my kiddo interrupting that. Big things. If you're sticking around here, gamers, later on, like I said, I think we'll have the production manager to be doing things remotely from the studio. And so we might have some fun stuff on screen to interact with. We were testing that last night. That live stream is up and posted if you wanted to see it. It's available to view. But I was on the phone with the production manager, so you can't hear the end of the conversation from them. It was kind of like a walkthrough. Yeah! Yes! Let's go! Making important stuff happen. For good reasons. Now, I can't get the music to go any louder than that. You guys want to talk about retro equipment, right? Everybody loves retro equipment. Check this out. I'm gonna burn wires there. When's the last time you guys saw one of those? 80 gigabyte iPod. Yeah, this is my buddy DJ Goreface. He's got this song called Return of the Wobbles. I think this genre is called fidget step. So it's like... no, Aaron. Dana did not get a chance to see our... Well, unless she viewed it after the fact. She was in bed, though. I don't think she viewed it. But it's up there. It's up there. I stayed up for another hour or two after the fact to review the footage myself. Nice. Nice. I like the Mario games. I've got the Super Smash Bros. Or whatever for the Wii. That might end up on stream if you guys want to see that. You know, one of those late night things where I stream the TV from a retro device. That I'm pretty sure Aaron might not be able to help me with. But it would end up being like a cameraman situation again. So I'm gonna assume by the comment that Gamers made there, you guys can hear the music. The camera microphone is very sensitive, so it wouldn't surprise me. My favorite character in the Mario game, gamers. Mario, for sure. The plumber. The main man, myth, legend, short man. Goomba jumper. What did I think watching it back? It was weird hearing only one side of the conversation. That was definitely a kind of a weird thing. I'll get used to that. But you know, I was watching it while it was happening. I had the live stream up on the phone that I was using for Discord, and I had it minimized so I could see what was happening live. and then I could also see the studio side without having to avert my vision. This music up all notches. I can't handle it. I don't know, gamers. When I find a song that I enjoy, I'll crank that bitch up. You know, and unfortunately, I've got these speakers over there. They sit 4.5 feet tall. They've got two tweeters, 2 6-inch treble speakers and 2 10-inch subwoofers in each tower. And unfortunately, they don't make the receiver that I was using to play on them, and I haven't explored getting new ones. But those suckers, when you crank them up, you could leave the house and enjoy the music halfway down the block. I am not kidding or exaggerating at all. And the speakers would go up to 50. At 30, you would be hearing it around the corner. Like, you could go for a walk and hear the music going all the way around the block if you wanted. It's awesome. When I say you can feel the music in your soul, I freaking mean it. Like, those speakers were the shit. I've still got them, but I took them out of the living room because they're something happened. One of the, and it's typical for that device, the receiver there that plays the music. It's typical for that one. There's like a relay or a fuse or a diode of some sort that has a bad weld connection or a bad solder joint, and it breaks. So if it heats up too much, then your system goes kaput. So what ends up happening is I'll put the music on, and for like a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds, it'll play the music, and then you'll hear this click sound, and then it'll stop playing music. The music's still running, but the receiver's not pointed out to the speakers anymore. So instead of just letting them get kicked around in the living room and smashed into by the dogs, hell, I had those speakers since 2013. So they're over 10 years old. The company that made them doesn't exist anymore. You guys know the Sharper Image? Familiar with that if you're old enough? Sharper Image was a high-end electronics store. They sold things like the Garmin, which is GPS. They sold, digital picture frames, massage chairs, speaker systems, but they also made their own products. And these speakers anyway, they happen to be one of the products that they made that was pretty exceptional. A lot of their stuff was exceptional, but it was mediocre at best. It didn't compare to the other stuff on the market. At a different price point, of course, the higher end you go, the more it's going to cost. So standing next to a Bose system, the Sharper Image brand didn't compare at all. So when these came out, they blew anything we had in the store away. And because it was a Sharper Image product and I worked there, I was able to get them 50% off. It was a $200 set of speakers at the time. And I got them for $100. But I've definitely made use out of them. I like good sound quality when I'm listening to music. Oh, that's crazy. People would probably think there's a giant party if it's late at night. They might think, what is that? They might. I try to be respectful, though. We have a noise ordinance. Most places do, depending on the community you live in. The noise ordinance here is by 10 p.m., anything above a certain decibel is not allowed. And I did the research on it, and the little battery-powered Milwaukee leaf blower I've got, it doesn't hit the decibels that would violate the noise ordinance. So I've been out there with that leaf blower. I've used it for like the powdered snow on the porch and stuff, just to keep the porch clear. I've even used it for the whole driveway when the snow is light enough to move. So I'll get out there with that leaf blower at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. Let somebody complain. I'll say, I'll pull up the specs on the phone and I'll say, look, the law says the decibel is unnecessary at a certain level. This device does not even get to that decibel level. Step off. Like, oh, see, yeah, you wouldn't know Sharper Image. Late 2014. You make me feel old, gamers. You make me feel old. I was born in 1988. 88! You know what didn't exist before I was born? Lunchables. The Simpsons. Those things did not exist before I was born. I think Lunchables and The Simpsons were 1989 they came out. Yeah, absolutely, gamers. When it's cold, and it's cold enough for the snow to just be like a powdered sprinkling, if you go out and keep on top of it, like once an hour, you don't have to pick up a shovel. I only had to pick up a shovel through 2 storms this year. There was like some slushy snow that came down, and it was like 6 inches, and then another time it was like 8 to 10. But last year, we didn't really get a heavy snowfall like that. There wasn't that kind of slush heavy snowfall. I think I only picked up a shovel once last year. And it was because I didn't have the leaf blower. I was somewhere else, or I had left it with a friend, I forget. But it was way better to use the leaf blower. Less strain on my back. And honestly, it made it much clearer. You know, a shovel will leave a little bit behind, whereas the blower, everything goes right down to the gravel. Have I heard of lunchly? Yes, I have heard of lunchly. That's like the healthy ones, right, Gamer? It's kind of like Lunchables, only for adults. Am I remembering that correctly? I might be mistaken for something else. Oh, it's a Mr. Beast Lunchable. So Lunchy is a knockoff brand. I heard the cheese is moldy. Oh boy, that's no good. That's no good. Mr. Beast Lunchable. You know, I don't want to say bad things about the guy because I don't know him. But I've heard not good things about him recently. And that's kind of where I want to leave it. I don't know the guy, but I've heard bad things about him recently. Jimmy's a bad guy. Well, that's what I've heard. Wiggling the camera here with the foot, sorry. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard that he's a different type of person off camera than he portrays on the internet. That's all I know about it. I won't go into any details that I've heard because I can't confirm or deny whether or not any of that is true. You can never trust face value what you see on the internet for the most part. So I don't want to defame anybody or you know, put my name or put somebody else's name in my mouth in a negative way, but I started something, I think. No, I don't think you did. I just, I don't know. I'm not sure if I would trust a Lunchable or like a food product that's coming from somebody who does viral content on the internet. When your whole world is doing things that are on a digital platform, can I trust you that you're going to give me food I can actually eat? I don't know. But again, Aaron, like I said, I don't know the guy. I'll try not to say anything bad about people that I don't know. And in the same aspect, if I know you, then I don't mind telling the truth about you. You can't get in trouble for telling the truth. It's not defamation if it's true. You know? I heard that Squid Games thing was a success and a failure. He did that Squid Games where he created like his own city. I've got to turn those off for the moment. They're going to keep getting notifications in your ear. Yeah, I heard that his Squid Games thing was a success and a failure. What do we got on time here? We got another 22 minutes and 57 seconds. This is not performing where I wanted it to be. It might not be cranked all the way up. I think we cranked it down by mistake. I was wondering, it stopped burning as hard as I wanted it to. Like I said, these homeowner wood burners are like toys compared to the ones that are available for like real. If I were to do this as a career, this would not cut it. This wood burner just would not cut it. I would need to probably make my own, which I would be capable of doing. I've got enough electrical knowledge to be able to do that. Couple resistors, current limiter switch. That's all this really is. You know, there's a couple resistors and a current limiter switch in here. And depending on where you put the dial, this is your current limiter switch. But I would definitely probably make my own wood burner. It would probably be incredibly unsafe. But I bet you it would burn that wood quick, fast, and in a hurry. Like the kind of burner where if you touch it, you're like, whoosh, you go right through it. I should be able to shade stuff with this switch. But like you see, I can go like this, and it's not marking it at all. Because it just doesn't get hot enough to do it that quickly. So it's kind of silly. It's definitely a homeowner's wood burner. V, what's up? Is my fireplace built into the table? No, that's my kiddo's tablet. Just trying to keep it interesting on the stream here. We're doing some wood burning, so I got some wood burning in the comments section. We're burning some wood, so we got wood burning. Your video was posted of the art? I will check it out. There's going to be a short period of time between the wood burning session and when my normally scheduled live stream is. We're playing an hour-long track here, so when the track is over in 19 minutes and 57 seconds, we're going to end this live stream, abandon this project until tomorrow or another time. But I'm not going to work on this outside of you guys being able to see it, so you can see the progress happening. The most I might do is get a stencil going, and like get a pencil stencil. A pencil stencil. Say that 10 times fast. But I won't put any new burn marks on it unless you guys are watching, just so you can watch the project happen. You know, I like to be able to see a project get completed. I imagine other people like to see a project get completed. And it's art, so it might not ever be completed. That's how art is. Anybody who is an artist understands that. You're never 100% satisfied. There's always stuff you're like, oh, I could have done that better, I could have done that better, I could have done that better. Very few pieces of art that I've made in my life that I felt like are really good. Really, really good and completely complete. So like I can have all kinds of complaints about this one. All right, just for instance here. All right, if we do the lettering, we got 4 letters here. We got 4 letters for kiss, and then EDME, another 4 letters. They're not really centered. The Z is big, the U is big, the M is kind of big, the A gets crunched up, then the K and the I are crunched up, and then you get back down here, the E is big, the D and the M are big, and this E is big. So it's like squished here in the middle where kiss is. But at least it's uniformly squished. You know, you got big letters on this end, big letters on that end, and right in the middle where kiss is, it's squished up. So at least there's symmetry to it, which relieves my brain, because the OCD in my brain says there has to be symmetry. My brain does not like to see things that are off-center unless it was intentional. They call that the carpenter's eye. Square and plumb. I'm drawing little dots in that one now. You guys can hear how it's kind of scraping over these dips. You guys see my most recent post today? I put a short out for moms and dads to watch. So I keep seeing this trend going on where there's kids dancing provocatively. And to me, that's not okay. You know, I'm a dad, and I don't want my kid doing this. So the issue I'm having with these is this move that they're doing, where they're like this, by their nether regions. Like, why putting the focus there? Why are we doing that as minors? You know, why are we doing that? And as parents, we should be looking at the content that our kids put up and say, oh, fuck no. Fuck no, 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 no. That's not happening. That's not going on the internet. You know, you're 9 years old, you're 12 years old. You don't need to be drawing attention to your private area. It's disgusting to me. And I've made a few comments on other people's pages like that, where I'm like, this is a disgusting dance trend, please stop doing it. Thumbs down. And I'll dislike this trend. And I've gotten some backlash, which is why I put the short up there. I've gotten backlash from some other people who see my comment and they're like, leave this person alone. You know, they're pretty and they're doing a dance. It's a dance trend. Leave them alone. And in my head, I'm like, does it matter if you're putting provocative material out as a minor, whether or not it's a trend? No. In my eyes, it doesn't matter. You're a child. You shouldn't be putting out content like that for strangers and adults around the world. Take care, V. We love you. And that's my rant on that. Feel free to check out that short and see that one there. You know, I'm not a perfect person, but I try to be the best parent I possibly can for my kiddo. It's important that he knows what's appropriate and what isn't, because how can he be a decent adult if I've never taught him what a decent adult looks like? Yes, kids dressing like harlots and dancing and provoking. Yeah, it's not okay. It's not okay at all. Not at all. There are predators on the internet. That is a fact. A fact that has been proven time and time again. There are predators on the internet. Not everybody is a predator, but there are predators on the internet. And there's sickos out there who watch that stuff. And I don't want those sickos watching your kid dance like that. Feel free to freeform that dance and take that provocative nature out of it. I'm all for kids having fun and putting the fun that they're having on the internet. But it needs to be fun on a child's level. When you start acting in a way that only adults should act, it shouldn't go on the internet. That's for friends and family to see and think it's cute and go, hey, you know, so-and-so is doing a cute dance, look how adorable they are. You know, but you shouldn't have thousands of people. Like, some of these videos have 51,000 likes. And 51,000 likes? That means there's millions of people who have seen it. That's just my opinion on it. That's just my opinion. I've got to be a decent father. And seeing stuff like that, it hurts my soul. It hurts my soul to see parents allow that. Do better. Do better, parents. Do better. You guys hearing that Zelda in the background, right? Uh-oh, what are we at here for time? 11 minutes and 3 seconds left. Wait for it, we're about to bust into the Ghostbusters. We got Zelda, Mario, Ghostbusters, and a few other sampling going on in this track. Like I said, it's an hour long, so it works out really, really well for what we're trying to do today. Do this content for an hour, and then shut it down and do our regularly scheduled live stream 11 to 1. I'm just darkening in these letters here. If I do any sanding of this too, I won't do it on camera, just because the noise that it would make would be awful for you guys to hear. I try to be observant of the noise I make. I know that the camera is a little sensitive, so I try not to blow your eardrums out. And knowledge is power. The more knowledge I figure out, the more power I've got to deal with it. Oh, don't you worry, Aaron. It's alright. Nobody says you have to comment in here. If you want to lurk, you can lurk. I like the commenters. It does help the algorithm. If you guys forgot, don't forget to hit the like button. I got 0 up there showing me. You know, if you feel like lurking, you just want to watch and listen, chill out for the next 10 minutes, that's cool too. Smash the hearts. Let's see what updates I'm missing here. Well, there it is. There is 3 likes and 7 watching. I see the 3. YouTube is weird sometimes. Like, I have to make sure. There you go. We'll add 1. We'll add 2. 1 for me, 1 for you. Oh, we're getting a phone call here. Ooh, this might be interesting. Let's see. And I know it's a scammer because it's coming in New Jersey area code. Hello, Frank's Mortuary and Penis Pumps. How can I help you? Please don't call this number again. This is a business. Yep, I see 4 now. It hasn't updated to a 5. But I did 1 on Zuma Kiss Me and 1 on Spark of Pyro. So it added 2 to it. But I saw 3. So I don't know. I see 5 on the main screen. 52 minutes and 42 seconds. There's a delay on these other screens. I'm not exactly sure why. Yeah, this one's showing me 4 viewers, 5 likes. This one's showing me 7 viewers and 4 likes. The main phone is showing me 4 viewers and 5 likes. Not a single one of them is even close to... Oh, well, this one and the main phone are accurate, I guess. Which is weird because the other one's actually using service. But yeah, it's not showing me 6, so I don't know what the delay is with that. YouTube, get it together. What the literal shit? Get it together, YouTube. Do better. So that might introduce a problem. For viewing stuff here. Once we do the remote studio. We'll give it a shot and see what happens. But it might present a problem. I like to be able to call out those lurkers. Hey, you lurker. What's up? How you doing? Hi, thanks for coming in. Chat in the chat. More wood burning lessons. Wolf in the house. Ow! We're early today, Wolf. We're only going to be doing an hour worth of session. I tried doing it outside of the normally scheduled 11 to 1. Yesterday was kind of like a sneak peek, but the content is supposed to be the doggos. So we started early today just to get a live going and do some wood burning. I'm going to be working with the production manager today on today's live stream. So maybe make some of that interesting stuff happen. If you didn't catch the last live stream, I did a live stream last night. It was like 10 o'clock at night, my time. So probably like 7 o'clock at night, your time. And we're doing some testing. Making stuff fly up on the screen. I'm watching from the studio side to see what's happening. Watching all the button clicks happening. It was very fascinating to watch. Very interesting. You guys might have a hard time finding it as content you're interested in because you can only hear one side of the conversation while I'm talking to the producer, studio manager, production manager. We'll figure out a title where this gentleman helped me out here. Try to give credit where credit's due. But thanks for stopping in, man. You're in Texas now. Nice. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep mixing it up. I've got so many weird interests. I really do. My interests are all over the place. You know, I like doing art, graphic designs, you know, being out, the doggos, you know, video games when I can, because there's only specific times when I can really do those things. Things that have become largely time-consuming are difficult to do now that I'm a dad. Before I was a dad, I could spend 6 hours a day after work sitting on a beanbag chair playing Minecraft. Can't do that nowadays. You know, at some point in that 6-hour session, I'm gonna have to get up at least 4 or 5 times, and it ain't just to refill the bowl or get another slice of pizza. You know, I've got to get up and make ramen or get a bath started and monitor bath time. It's the most fulfilling job I've ever had being a dad, but it is so time consuming. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself when I'm at the point where he doesn't need that kind of focused attention, because I'll have a lot more time than I know what to do with. Maybe we'll travel with Zuma. Come out to a town near you. I wish I had a more industrial wood burner. This process wouldn't take 10 hours to do. Start getting a little bit of the design here. What do we got for time? Oh, we're getting there. It's almost time to call it. At least for this live stream. Oh, I bent over the tip of this sucker. Whoops. And let the music play out, and then we'll call it. And we'll be back live again in about a half hour. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude this live for the wood burning. I appreciate everybody who come out. Meaning to get my stream myself at the gun range. Yeah, it's time consuming, especially that kind of thing. You've got to do that alone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. We'll be back in 20 to 30 minutes with some doggos.